Okay, so yesterday we talked about rationalizing fractions. Okay, that was our first learning target. Today we're going to talk about how to identify and describe trig ratios for triangles. So specifically, we're going to use trig ratios to be able to figure out missing sides and missing angles. Okay, so let's first talk about how to find a side, a missing side if you're looking for one. Okay, so in this first question here, we are looking for side X. Okay, X. We're looking for that side. Now, the first question you need to ask yourself is, what trig ratio do I need to be able to use? Okay, and if that is the side that you're looking for, okay, we're thinking about what angle we have so that we can figure out what trig ratio to use. So we have 39. Okay, we have that angle. We have angle S. So we're going to think about what trig ratio we need and what the relation is from X to 39, and then the other side that you have. So in relation to 39 degrees, that angle, I always circle it so that I can figure out, you know, what I'm looking for. We're looking for X. In relation to 39, what is X? Opposite, adjacent, or the hypotenuse? Opposite. It is opposite. Okay, that's going to help us to determine what trig ratio we're going to use. Okay, then we also have 75. In relation to that angle, what is 75? It's the adjacent. Okay, which one of our trig ratios, and I listed them up above so that we could remember, which one of those trig ratios deals with opposite and adjacent? Tangent. Okay, so tangent is the trig ratio that you need. So this next part, we're going to set up the ratio, and then we're going to plug in values that we have. So the tangent, what's our angle? 39. So the tangent of 39 is equal to whatever the opposite over the adjacent is. Well, let's plug in actual values for what our opposite side is and what our adjacent side is. Okay? So the tangent of 39 equals, what is our opposite? X. X. Oh, that's an ugly X. My apologies. That looks more like a Y. X over, what's our adjacent? 75. Okay. X over 75. Okay, so what we're going to do from here is we're going to cross multiply to figure out what our X value is going to be. Anything that is just a number is over 1. Okay, so that tangent of 39 is over 1. So let's cross multiply there. So we're going to have tangent of 39 times 75 equals X. Okay, so do you guys know how to plug this into the calculator, or you want me to pull up the calculator? Okay. Okay, so we have the tangent of, what did I just say? $39. Okay, so the tangent, so I'm just going to hit the tangent button of 39. Okay, and then I'm going to hit equal. Don't go ahead and try to multiply the other thing inside of that. Okay, so tangent 39 gives me a decimal. And then I'm going to multiply that times what? 75? And I should get 60.7. So my x is going to be 60.7. So that's what my side is. So that's how we figure out our side. Okay. Now let's try finding an angle. So very similarly, this time we're going to look for angle Q. So I'm going to circle angle Q because that's going to be the angle that I'm looking for. And then we're going to think about what we have and what we're given and what we're looking for. Okay, we're looking for angle Q. We already know what this side QR is. We just figured out it was what? 60.7. Okay, so we have two sides. In relation to angle Q, 60.7 is your what? Adjacent. So that's your adjacent. And then we're given 75, which is your what in relation to angle Q? Opposite. Opposite. So which one deals with opposite and adjacent? Tangent. So we're going to use tangent again. Just in a different, we're going to use it a little bit differently. Okay? So the tangent, we need to set up our ratio first. So the tangent of Q, that's the angle we're looking for, is going to equal the opposite over the adjacent. Okay? And let's plug in our values. So tangent of Q equals, what's our opposite? 75 over our adjacent. What was our adjacent?
60.7.
60.7. Okay. So our next step to figuring out what that angle is going to be is we have to swap the angle and the fraction and inverse the trig ratio. Okay, so instead of it being tangent like we did on the last problem, it's now going to be the inverse of tangent. So the inverse and what was our fraction? 75 over 60.7 is going to equal angle Q. So this is what we're going to do to figure that out. We're going to type in the calculator the inverse tangent of 75 over 60.7. Let me show you how to do that. Okay, so I'm going to hit second tangent. What were those numbers again? 75 divided by 60.7. Get 51. Let's call that 51 degrees. And that's how you find the angle. So that's finding the side and then finding the angle. And those are two different ways. A way that I like to think about it is that if you're finding an angle, you're going to use the inverse. And then when you're finding a side, you're going to cross multiply. That helps me keep track. So if that helps you keep track, write those as well. Okay.